Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. And for those of you who are new here, I highly recommend you hitting the subscribe button and hitting that little bell so you don't miss any of the content that we post, because we'll be covering a lot of topics surrounding photography and business and stuff like that. So highly recommend it. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ozem Ellis. I am a fine art photographer based in Tampa, Florida. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over a quick and easy way in Photoshop of getting that three-dimensional look in your portrait. So if you want that three-dimensional look in your portrait, stick around. If you're anything like me, you're not really a big fan of flat images and flat portraits. When you see things in real life, things pop out at you. You know, everything's very dynamic and moving around, and then you see things on the screen and it's two-dimensional. Now, if you're photographing people, especially in natural light, not every time you're going to be able to adjust the light exactly the way you want, or control it the way you want, or get that real three-dimensional look out of your images. So I have a cool trick to bring out those highlights and deepen those shadows and stuff like that, and I'm going to be showing you guys that in a second. This is going to be done in Photoshop using a dodging and burning technique, and super easy. So without wasting any more time, let's get to it. Alright, so here we have a studio portrait, and as you can see, it's not the most flat image in the world, but just for illustrative purposes, I'm going to be demonstrating how we can actually bring out a little bit more depth in this image using the dodging and burning technique. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to create a layer, and how we're going to do that is by hitting Control Shift and N, and on the Mac it's going to be Command Shift and N, and this layer we're just going to name it Burn. I'll just call it Burn, and go to the layer mode and select soft light and fill with soft light neutral color, 50% gray. Very important. Now hit OK. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this burn layer by hitting Control J, and on the Mac it's going to be Command J. I'm going to double click and I'm going to rename it Dodge. Okay, so I just reselected the burn layer. I'm going to come over to my toolbox here and I'm going to right click this tool, and I'm going to go to burn. Then I'm going to make sure my range is set to shadows. For this particular technique, I'm going to make sure the range is set to shadows, and I always like my burn tools and my dodge tools to be low exposure so that I'm not doing too much at one time. Make sure protect tones is checked and we can start working. So I'm going to zoom into the image a little bit, and just to kind of deepen this shadow on her face, I'm gonna make one pass. Perfect. And then I'm gonna make the brush a little bit smaller and go back in just a little bit more. Okay, good. Just around the edge. Perfect. Now this is a little bit too deep for my taste, but I'm gonna show you how to reduce that a little bit later down. Let's just go past it. So now I'm going to select the dodge layer. I'm going to go back to this burn tool. I'm going to right click. I'm going to select the dodge tool. Now in the dodge tool, I'm going to want to start with my shadows first. I always like starting with the shadows and building up to midtones and then highlights. So let's start with the shadows. Exposure's at 8%, perfect. And protect tones is selected. Good, check. And I'm going to go in under the eyes, and I'm going to just start lightening up some of these dark areas. Now these dark areas are very natural in a human being. Even with lighting, obviously there's adequate lighting, but they're natural, so we don't want to get rid of them completely unless that's the look you're going for. If you're anything like me, you like to see the human element in a photo. So I'm just gonna bring up the shadows. Perfect. And this is good for me. Now, you might not be able to see the difference that it makes. So I'm gonna hit before and after on this dodge tool really quick, just by selecting this eye at the side of the layer. And clicking it, click it off, on, off. Okay? So it's a very minor change to the image, which I like. Now, I'm gonna go to range again and select midtones. And I'm gonna make this brush a little bit bigger, and I'm just gonna pass over these areas one more time, just to give it a little bit more consistency. Make it smaller and just address some things by themselves. Perfect. I like to go over the eyes and really kind of bring out the tones, over, like right onto the eyebrows, just to add some dimension. Okay, perfect. So right here, I'm just gonna run it in there. Good. Now you can actually see a bigger difference in this image now that I've dodged the midtones a little bit. And just to show you that, I'm gonna go from beginning, before and after. So that's a before, that's after, before, after. So I'm really liking this so far. I'm gonna just dodge this line in her nose really quick, even though, perfect. And then with this, I'm just gonna go down to her lips, and I'm gonna just kind of dodge the midtones over her lips, just to add some extra dimension and right between her nose and her lips. Perfect. Just adding a hint of dimension in this photo by doing that. Okay, good. And over here, let's bring it up a little bit. Perfect. And I'm gonna go before and after. You can definitely see the difference that makes. Okay, so now we look at the image from far, and just gonna dodge there. Okay, good. Now from here, I'm gonna go to range again and select highlights. Now this is where I do the highlighting on her cheekbones, and of course just passing it onto the eyes again, just to make it a little bit more consistent. So I'm gonna do it over here as well, and then just between her nose, right by her forehead. And to me that looks really good, and just run it down her nose once. Maybe not, so I just backed off. Now you make a pass over the cheekbone, kind of like this, and then make it smaller, make that pass again. I'm gonna back off like twice, go back over. So you do it until you get it right to where it looks natural, and then I'm just gonna come back into this spot and just really bring out a sharp highlight. And she's gonna appreciate me for doing that too. So here it is. Now obviously this is a little bit too much. If you like that look, you can stop there, but it's a little bit too much for my taste. So what I'm gonna do is, actually, let me go down to her lips really quick. So I'll just use this tool and accentuate her lips a little bit more. She does have nice lips, so this helps a little bit. And I'm just gonna just accentuate this, and then I'm gonna just run this right around that highlight area. Perfect. Good. So I'm loving this right now. Now all I'm gonna do from here is I'm just gonna make sure I can see her entire face, and then I'm gonna select the layer, then go to opacity over here on the right side, and then I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit until it's like the perfect range for me. This looks just about right. I mean, I could do just a little bit higher. That's perfect. Now I'm going to select the burn layer and do the same thing. Go to opacity, bring it down a little bit, and put it up, bring it down. Okay. So this is right around that sweet spot. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more. Perfect. And from here now, I'm going to just select one layer, hit Control, click the next layer, and on a Mac you can hit Command and click the next layer, and then I'm going to hit Control G to group the layers together. On the Mac, Command G. Double click on group 1 and rename it to Dodge and Burn. Now I can do a before and after and select both layers at the same time. So here's the before, after, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's looking a lot more three-dimensional to me. Obviously there's a little bit more work I would have to actually do to it, but I'm just gonna go before and after, and one more time, before and after. I'm gonna bring down the dodge effect a little bit, and always remember to check your work like this. Before, after. I'm gonna dodge right here just a little bit more. Dodge below that. Perfect. Okay, that's looking a little bit more natural to me now. And I'm gonna reduce the effect a tad bit more. Before, after. Okay. Bring up the opacity and the burn just to deepen her cheek a little bit. Beautiful. Alright, let's see the before and after now. Before, after. What do you guys think? It seems finished to me. I'll just wrap up right here. This seems good enough for my taste. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. I will be going through all the comments and responding. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you like this video, of course, please hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel again and you like this content, please hit the subscribe button and that little bell that's going to allow you to see the notifications every time we post a new video. And yeah, until next time.